Yo, it's the Elder 937 PH Town's real poppin' throwbacks. You in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Who is this and what part of town you on?
My name's John, calling from Baytown.
Guess what, man? You caller number 9. What up? It's your homie DJ MR.ROGERS. You know what it is. You in my neighborhood, part of the Relief Gang, taking care of Texas, man. Big shout out to the homies over here. You now tuned in, TexasPlug.com.
Hi, I'm Glenn Jackson, and we're here with Heel Houston, featuring DJ Rogers. How you doing, sir?
Good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm blessed and highly favored, man. You are the man around town. How did that happen?
I don't want to say the man around town. Just, let's say, this city's giving me so much, my craft, my career so much, is only right that I give back as much as I, humanly can. Just to reciprocate that. This is a beautiful city. I love it. It's my home. And seeing what happened here in the city with, the natural disaster, it's like, okay, let's use our resources, the things that the city has blessed me with, and let's put them to use.
Yes. Yeah. This has been an emotional time for the city. I mean, this has been, like, for a lot of people have been affected, more, not only just losing everything in a flood, but just the spirit,
Yeah.
And this has brought this whole community together, because you've seen, like, an amazing amount of love being poured back to you guys based on what you've done.
Yeah, Houston came together like I think no other city really could come together. It's just something that's just indigenous in Texas. We just really look out for each other. Texas cares for Texas. And this event, I guess if we lost sight of that over some years, it reminded us that, that, hey, we're here for each other and that people really care about each other out here, no matter social class or, racial background or whatever. And, it's, the spirit was broken when the devastation occurred, but soon as the waters receded, even prior to it receding, when you saw these boots on the ground and people, really active out here, first responding and stuff like that, spirits were lifted, and it was cause for celebration before, the devastation.
And even though the devastation is over, we're talking about the devastation piece is completely over, you are still giving back to people. Yeah,
because once the waters receded. Let's compare this to Katrina, New Orleans. 12 years removed. When you go out there now, they're still rebuilding. There's still places that haven't been rebuilt, places that people can never move back to. They've been permanently displaced from. We're dealing with water, and just inundating homes and full communities like that. There's no overnight process of rebuilding. When people lose, you're literally going for blocks and blocks of homes that lost everything. When you go on these curbs and look outside, there's 5-6 foot mounds of everything that was inside that house is now outside. They're turning inside out. All personal belongings, let alone with, appliances, furniture, very expensive things. That's not something that, people save their whole life for a lot of that stuff. You can't just go back out and buy that. There's no check that can be cut that can just, get you back out into your normal life. So it's a process, and it's not going to be a week, it's not going to be a month, it's going to take years. And so it's like, okay, let's try to expedite this process as much as possible by doing whatever we can,
Well, I got a story that there was a young lady that was affected by the storm that was about to have a baby.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So there's this tug of war I had with social media. It's like, okay, using this platform for good things, like, or just for every post needs to mean something. I hate wasting just posting anything going on in my life. So when this occurred, it was like, okay, let's use this as a social media, as a PSA. Let me just say, put the word out with a post like, hey, I have this. If you need it, let me know. I'll come into you. Whether it was a hotel room, whether it was food or whatever, if you need to be rescued. And so people paid it forward, and they pushed the initiative, and the word got out. Well, we were in a community, just serving people food, and someone saw it, and he was like, hey, I saw your post. we got this lady, she's due today. She's going into labor. And I met with her husband, and, you know, of course, their vehicles couldn't, you know, their home wasn't actually fully flooded with water yet, but there was 4.5 feet of water on the street. Luckily, they had an elevated home, but the cars they weren't in vehicles that were high enough to get through it. So some fellow, you know, people that from my area, from my community, they had some canoes and had some Jeeps and trucks, and we hopped in and we drove to her, and we took her to dry land and got her to the hospital, and she had her baby.
Wow.
And you know, it wasn't planned. It wasn't, you know, we were just out there, and we were at the right place at the right time for her.
That's right. And you were able to be a blessing to her.
Yeah.
You know, some young person is going to see this interview somewhere nationwide that may not live in Houston. What do you want them to take from this?
Oh, man. I just want everybody to be inspired, whether you're young or old. You know, if you have the ability to help, you know, your neighbor, just, you know, if you're in a predicament, or if they're in one that you could potentially be in, you know, just think about that. Put yourself in those shoes, because that's what it was. I don't know if it was a combination of like survivor's remorse, survivor's guilt, because my house didn't get flooded, or just knowing that, seeing on social media people that I knew, that I saw in the club the night before, that were popping bottles, that, or, you know, they were living a fairly well lifestyle, and they lost everything. Just seeing that, like, oh, that could have been me. So let me, you know, and if I was in this situation, would they help me? And hope they would. So it was like, okay, let's just do it. And I just hope to inspire. You know, that's what we do. Aspire to inspire.
And is your parents from this area?
No, I'm actually originally from Dallas. My family's all from actually Ohio, and I have family in the DMV area, and that's where my parents are from. But no, I went to college here at Prairie View A&M University.
Okay.
And so upon graduation, I came out here to Houston, and I've been here ever since.
Have you had conversations with your parents since this?
Yeah, my mother is like, she's probably one of my best friends. I speak with her. Of course, it was, I was a mama's baby, you know, when I was out there in the water, like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
You're stressing me out now.
Stressing me out. You need to be in Dallas with me. You need to evacuate. And,
Houston is underwater.
Yeah.
Why are you still there?
Yeah, and then, like, you know, like, I guess 2 days, like, into their storm, and we were out there, you know, helping people, and there was an interview that I called in with local radio station in Dallas, and my mom, she just heard me on the radio, and she was like, okay, she's like, you're really out there helping people, just be careful. And she checked on me every day, but she loves it. And,
yeah, just the fact that you're able to do something positive and great with the community. I think it's important for people who will see this video piece to realize that you guys were not just helping African Americans. There were all kinds of people in some of these events that you had in Port Arthur, that you guys were able to be a blessing to the masses. Yeah. And that's important that people get that, because sometimes they miss that. Y'all were just helping people.
Yeah. No, I mean, when we first ventured out, my brother and I, into the water, we were in my truck, and we were going to help a young lady that hit me up on Twitter. She was with her 2-year-old daughter, and they were... Her apartment had got flooded, so she evacuated from her apartment, was in her car, and went to a gas station. Well, the gas station had got hit with water, and there was pretty much a moat around it, so she was stranded. So I was like, all right, let me come get you because you're in the car. Well, when we went to the exit, we couldn't get past the exit because the water was like 6 feet high. It was high. Next thing you know, a Honda Civic, I'm in the truck, but a Honda Civic just plows into the water. And this guy's just trying to make it through, and I'm like, you're not gonna make it. And it was an Asian guy, and you know, it was, hey, you need to get out this car. Let me save you. Hop in the truck. So he climbed out his window, climbed into ours, and took him home. And you know, and it was, I live in the suburbs out in Pearland, so it's all walks of life out in that area. You know, of course, Houston is a melting pot of every ethnicity and culture. So, just whatever car we saw, we were pulling up to just to help, and no matter what. Their background was. Even with, the guys, we were in line buying supplies one morning, and there was a couple behind me, a Caucasian couple behind me, and they're like, are you doing this for a shelter? I said, no, I'm taking this to people's homes and people that I'm seeing are stranded. And they said, okay, you're going to be here anytime, tomorrow? And I said, yeah, I'm going to be here every day. The next morning, 7 a.m., it was them and a bunch of his colleagues and their kids and some local students from the schools. They all had boats canoes and trucks, and it was no color line. It was just everybody was just there to help. So we weren't targeting one specific community or one specific.
Y'all just helping black people.
Yeah, that's what everybody was thinking. We get comments like that. It's like, oh, helping black people. It's like, no, helping anybody who hops in our DMs on social media and says they need help. We're assisting them. And if you're too prideful because of whatever, then so be it. But we're gonna go out and help anyone, and we've helped everybody from all walks of life.
And race was never a question or concern when you're helping somebody in need.
Never
at
all. I mean, we target we intend to target single mothers and elderly people. So that's, I don't think how you've been displaced it doesn't matter. It didn't decide on what your color line was.
People have much conversation is now happening as it relates to being an American, being patriotic.
Right.
Do you think y'all service represents American values?
Yes, to the fullest. Because it's crazy because it kind of contradicts what certain policies that the government is trying to implement, or a particular person in the government is trying to implement at this time, with the population here being 60% plus Hispanic. Right here with our neighbors in Mexico, and you're seeing that now it's time to rebuild this city. Well, who are our laborers? Who provides that type of labor, those services? And with 9 months going in of deporting them and trying to get them out of here, and then seeing here in Houston that people that were displaced and that were evacuated from their homes, they go into shelters, their government shelters, or they were getting government assistance. You have to be an American citizen. So you go to one community and it's vacant, that's been inundated with water, that's inhabitable or uninhabitable. You can't. You have people who are American citizens that stayed in those communities, but then you have one that was just as damaged and just received as much flood water as that one. But this is Hispanic, this undocumented community. They're still living in this place, in this apartment, 8 deep, in a 1-bedroom with no walls, with mold, because they can't come out. They're scared to come out and go to these shelters because risk
the chance of deportation.
Yeah, risking chance of deportation. Going out into the waters and seeing first responders, Cajun Navy, Coast Guard, and then Border Patrol boats in the water. It's like, I don't know. I didn't actually see anybody get put on a boat and put on a bus, but I mean, you put it all together and it's like, okay, wow. So, that's another community that we service a lot here with Relief Gang. We definitely go to the Hispanic communities because they need the resources.
And the help.
They're not getting them. Yeah.
And you never at any point was afraid. There was never a point of you being afraid going into the waters, when they were saying that the risk factor of the toxic and septic debris and all of that stuff, there was never a moment that you was like, I can't do this?
You thought about it. There was moments where I thought my truck was going to get swept away.
Yeah.
But when you see that, okay, someone needs some help, and it's like, all right, let's just test it, and of course we go out and there's a strong reality check when you go out. You just got to be logical when you do it. But you think about the gators and you think about all that. And I had to go to the emergency room like 2 weeks ago because I was sick and I had to get tetanus shot and steroid shot and stuff like that and get some rest. But I know other people that got some boils on their legs from the water, but you don't think about that right at that moment.
When you're saving people.
Yeah, when you're saving people. Yeah.
The Relief Gang, the name, Relief Gang, who came up with that?
I did.
Really?
Yeah, we were just, with Trey, and I think like now with the whole gang terminology just being used in pop culture the way it is, and we were providing relief, immediate relief for everyone. It's like, and it was always a group of us. We had so many people that come to help, and people, and a lot of light didn't get shed on that. We got volunteers that come from east to west coast. We have a guy who's been here for an entire month from North Carolina, has no reason to be here except for this, and he's been here working with us every day. And people come in every week to help, and it's like when we pull up, of course, we're predominantly we're entertainers, so we attract a certain type of group of volunteers. So there's a lot of black guys with us and girls, and but all walks of life work with us too. And we do not discriminate at all. Anyone can help us out. But when we pull up, we look like a gang. We're in our trucks or cars or whatever, and it's like, and we're hopping out with everything, and we're gonna take over the spot and make sure everybody's taken care of. And so it was like, okay, it's the relief game.
Yeah. Where would you like to see the relief game go from this point?
Oh wow. We just want to continue to help, like wherever there's a need. We just want to be there, no matter. We sent 2 containers out to Puerto Rico. We just filled a truck up that's going to the Virgin Islands today. We're trying to find ways to assist people now. We were providing with supplies, but now we've been in the rebuilding process. We're adopting homes. People who getting a bare minimum from FEMA or not getting the FEMA assistance at all, who didn't have the paperwork together. Forget trying to wait on that. We're actually just funding, their homes to be rebuilt, so they can get back into their houses. And we're just, we also being out into the city. You see another side of the city that you don't really get to see when you're in the comfort of your own home. And we do events all the time. I do back to school supply drives and all that, turkey drive. We do all that, but you're not in in people's homes, and we're in different parts of the city where you never go to, and you see how people were living prior to the hurricane. Yeah. And they need these things that we're giving them after the hurricane. They needed them tenfold before the hurricane. So it's like, wow, this city needed help in areas, as thriving as it seems to be. There are people that need help before all this. So it's like, okay, we're gonna have to do this year round. This is something we're gonna do until until everybody gets what they need, as long as we have the resources.
As long as there's a need, that you'll be there to service. What can the public do to help you guys?
Awareness, we just, to help us, we need to know who needs help, letting us know what communities are in need. Volunteers are always welcome. Anyone, you just go to reliefgang.com. Reliefgang.com has our mission statement. It lets you know what we're doing, what we're trying to do, and of course, any resources, donations, whatever, we accept it all just to keep it going.
Wonderful. Be Your Live Houston. That's this weekend, Sunday, of course. And Be Your Live celebrates amazing, amazing, trailblazing Americans who make an impact. You're one of this year's honorees. Wow. And you are being honored on behalf of your global dedication and consistency to making a difference in the lives of other people. Sacrificing yourself and putting other people's in the forefront. Not just for your efforts with the Relief Gang, but with your years of service and all the things that you've always done. DJs all over the country that are in this music game like you are, what would you like them to take from this?
Use your platform. Use your platform to sound cliche. To make your mama proud. Yeah. I just kept it simple as that. If I want to do anything, just, I want to use my platform for this or that. Just do something to make your mother proud. Something I can use to make my daughters proud. Something, people use their social media platforms for attention and for so many negative things, and, especially in our community. It's like, okay, use your platform as a DJ, your voice, let it be heard to inspire or to do good, to help others benefit from it. That's definitely, that's it.
Give us your direct stage name.
DJ MR.ROGERS.
Who's that guy?
Hey, I'm just, I'm Jaden and Salona's father. I'm a Prairie View A&M Panther. I'm a Houstonian, Houston Texan. That's exactly who I am.
Congratulations. Hill Houston honoree, DJ MR.ROGERS.